Chris. And I'm Patty.
And today we're going to talk about The Voice, the TV show where people audition, and Chris recently actually auditioned for The Voice, so we thought it'd be a perfect topic.
Yeah, I auditioned and I didn't get it. I didn't get to move on. Sad to say, but there were thousands of people there auditioning also. So every one of us was hoping that we'd be chosen. It's a pretty interesting process though, but we started at like 7 in the morning. We were there earlier than that, and there were so many people lined up ahead of us. We were supposed to be there by 7, and we got there about 7:45, 20 to 7, and there were tons of people ahead of us already.
So when you get there, you're in a large room with a ton of people, I'm guessing.
Well, first thing you end up, you actually have to go through security procedures.
Oh, wow.
They actually scan you, and it's just about like going to the airport.
Wow.
You know, and they had a dog. They had a couple of dogs there, so I suppose they were bomb sniffing dogs or something.
Wow.
I mean, so it's really interesting. I mean, just to know that, you know. And first of all, you have to sign up ahead of time. You have to have your paperwork printed out, and when you have your paperwork printed out, you have to take it with you. It's supposed to match your ID. So,
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
He turned over. He's probably off camera. They probably can't see.
Sorry, the dog is trying to steal the show. So you're in a group. You're with hundreds of people,
and you go. They actually have lines. I mean, it's actually like when you're in a restaurant line and it's winding around, and you know. And then they bring you in, and then they have you in rows, and then they bring you through the rows, and you have to. First of all, during security, they check your bags and everything. Well, then after they get you in line, then you go through and you have to give them your paperwork, sign it, that, you know, supposed to show your ID and all that stuff. And then you can go to your seats, and they have you in the order that you come in. And then they take you out. At this audition, they had groups of 10, and they said they had 8 rooms. So that means 80 people at a time. So they would take 10 and then 10, and you stood in line, and they took your group of 10 to sit out in the hallway again then. So you had a lot of waiting areas.
Okay.
And then you sat out in this hallway waiting, and they would take your group in then, and then each person gets to sing their song. And you don't get to sing a whole song. You get to sing like a verse and a chorus. And if it gets too long, the judge will cut you off. Okay. And then after everybody's finished singing, and then they announce if any of them made it. And some of the rooms, they had nobody that made it. Now, in the room that I was in, they had one girl that did it. Now, I've been in contests before where you kind of scratch your head, and, you know, I'm under no illusion that I'm the best singer in the room ever. But sometimes you're in a room where there are some that are good and some that are bad. So in your own mind, you guess who's going to win.
Right.
You know, and there's a lot of these contests where after it's done, you scratch your head and you go, boy, that's not who I would have picked.
Right.
And you can't figure out how the judges decided. But in this one, I was perfectly satisfied that the judge had done a good job, because the person that was in our room was very, very good. And they picked her, so they had her stay, so she probably had to sing another song for the judge, or maybe they needed more information. I'm not sure exactly what, because I've never gotten to that point. But they asked her to stay, and then we went out. Now, in some of the other ones, though, they didn't choose anybody. Now, I did do it last year. And
I was going to ask if this was the first time.
No.
I thought maybe you had done that once before.
Yeah.
That was last year?
Yeah.
Was it The Voice?
It was The Voice last year. Now, I probably wouldn't go, except I've got a friend that has gone to several of these, and she said she was going, and I was like, oh my God, that sounds so much fun. You know, life should be incredible buzz. So I'm up for any of those fun things. So I went last year, and in the room we were in, two people got picked. Now, that time, I had picked out 2 other people that I thought should have been the ones that went on, and they picked 2 different ones. So there you go. Scratch your head and wonder how they decided.
Well, it is objective or subjective.
Yeah.
So there's going to be.
Yeah.
You see that like when we watch the show. I like the show The Voice. I've watched it for the last several years, and it's the same when you're sitting at home watching. It's like they're pushing that person through. This person is voted off, and you just don't get it. You're like,
oh yeah, because some of those
doesn't make
I'll
sense.
tell you what. Every year, those singers get better. Now, the only thing is, I did find an article. Well, I did find an article on the internet before I went, and it said surprising things about The Voice that you didn't know. And one of the things I did not know is they call agents and managers all over the country looking for good singers with a story. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, Maybe it seems like everybody has a fair chance, but I'm not sure exactly where that goes from there. But it just means there's a lot of good singers included in this.
Right. True. It's very competitive, and they have the talent is unbelievable.
I swear every year, and those young ones
and they're younger, and I think a lot more people are taking voice lessons earlier, and
maybe
a big
I
deal.
didn't have stage parents pushing me on.
No, but you know what? Anyway, the whole point I think is what a great experience. Life should be an incredible buzz, as you said. And how many people can say they've done it? Twice you have experienced that.
Well,
so
and the thing is,
I think that's great.
Don't let normal life stop you from having a fun life.
Yes.
That's the thing. I have never let the fact that I, sometimes not have enough money or sometimes have too much going on to stop me from having fun.
Right.
Do the things that you want to do. You can live a dream. You can do whatever you want to do. You don't want to do something that's going to hurt somebody else. But if your dream is to sing, then sing. If your dream is to act, then act. You can do it in a small way. You can do it in a big way. You can go to local theater. Now, Patty writes plays and things like that. We had a lot of fun with that one year, where she wrote a short story or a short play. It was a contest, and you had 24 hours to write this play, and she had just some props and things she had to include in the play. So some of us acted in it, and it was so much fun. So you were living your dream. Yeah. And now that she's out of this 9-to-5 job, I suspect maybe she'll get a chance to do more of that kind of stuff too. So you live your dream, do it, and just make it happen.
The important thing is to do it, and I struggled for years too without actually doing or completing things. Put life on, busy, and I'm tired tonight. But we're trying to encourage others to kind of do what we're doing now. Take a risk and just do it. You're not going to regret doing it. You might regret never having tried it, but you're not going to regret doing it, even if it doesn't succeed. It was a good experience, I'm sure.
On your deathbed, you're not going to say, "Oh, I shouldn't have tried all that stuff. I should have made more money."
Exactly.
On your deathbed, you're going to say, however rich you are, you're going to say, "Man, I wish I had done more of this or that." And there's a book out that says, "Do what you love and the money will follow." Now we're trying to find out if that's true or not.
Well, that'd be nice if it's true.
So I guess we're out of time, and
as usual.
So we just want to let you know that life should be an incredible buzz.